Hello everybody, this is going to be my tutorial on how to assemble and properly lubricate your Dayan Zhanchi cube. I got mine in green. I do have a bunch of other colored ones, but I am showing you this one in green because it's probably a lot easier to see it in the light than a black one. So what you're going to need is your Dayan Zhanchi cube in DIY, of course. If you didn't get a DIY, you can take apart your Zhanchi that did come assembled and lube it the proper way. If you are lubing with Maru Lube, you don't need to disassemble anything. However, if you are using Lubix, like I am going to demonstrate in this video, you might want to take your cube entirely apart. That includes the core, the screws, the springs, and the washers. Everything comes apart. So we're going to get rid of these for a minute, and you're also going to need your screwdriver, of course. And we're going to open up the bag and see what's in here. Okay, first thing that comes with it is your sticker set and your card that you should get. Mine is number 019264. That's a lot of Zhanchis out there, and you should also get some Dayan stickers. We'll get to that when we're there. Also inside here you should have your screw and spring set with your core. Just place those aside for now. We'll get to that later. And dump out your pieces. Okay, so you're going to have a number of different kind of pieces here. You're going to have a whole bunch of these, which basically makes up two different edge pieces. You put one on each side. I want you to put all of those in their own pile. You're going to have a bunch of these things. These are called torpedoes. This is what stops the cube from popping. You're going to want to put those in their own pile. These are corner pieces. You're going to want to separate all these and put these in their own pile. 3 of these make one corner piece. You're going to have your center pieces that look just like this. You're going to have 6 of those. Place those in their own pile. And of course, you're going to have your center caps as well. There's also going to be 6. So go ahead and organize your pieces. I'm going to do mine now, and I'll see you in a minute. All right, so hopefully now your pile looks like mine. If it doesn't, feel free to pause the video and make your pile look like this. All right, so what we're going to do is do the corners first. You're going to want to take 2 of these pieces. Now, as you can see, there are little gaps in between them here. And I want you to hold 2 pieces like this, and I want you to put the left piece over top of the right piece, just like that, and put them together. Now I want you to grab a 3rd piece, and these little wing pieces go together just like this. And then you push it together. And that makes up a corner piece. Sometimes you're going to notice that it leaves a little bit of a gap. As you can see on mine, it left a little bit of a gap there, and you could try to close it, but if it doesn't close, then that's just the way it is, and you're going to have to live with it. All right, so put together the rest of your corners, and I'll see you in a second. Okay, so I've got my 8 corners done. If you're wondering why I'm done so fast, that's just the magic of video editing. So now we're going to do the edge pieces. So what you're going to need is 2 edge pieces and 1 torpedo. So what I want you to do is take a torpedo and take an edge piece. And this is how I want you to put them together. You hold the torpedo like this, and right inside that hole, you put the torpedo. So it fits in there, just like that. Now I want you to grab the other edge, and I want you to fit it on. And then squeeze really hard and tighten it. And that is 1 edge piece. I want you to go ahead and do the other edge pieces. Okay, so I'm just finishing up my last edge piece now. And a lot of the time, because I've put together so many of these things, that I find that sometimes you get too many torpedoes, and that's okay. You just have extra ones. And sometimes you're shorted one. And there's not really a whole lot you can do about that. So that's just the way it's going to have to be. So now that you've got all your pieces assembled, we're going to take our core and our screws, and we are going to put these pieces aside for now. And we're going to work on this. So I want you to dump these out, just like this. I want you to grab your Lubix. Now, if you're going to use Maru Lube and you want to skip this whole Lubix section, you can click this annotation right there, and it'll take you to the very end of the video where you can watch how to apply these to those pieces to begin with. For those of you who are sticking around to use the Lubix, we're going to get on with that part now. What I like to do is I like to grab a piece of paper actually, and I like to put everything on there just so the Lubix doesn't get on the surface, which is my nice glass desk that I have. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab all 6 of the center pieces. And I want you to take just a little bit of Lubix. See if I can get this focused. There we go. And I want you to just take a little bit out, probably about that much. And I want you to put it in the hole on this side. I want you to put the nozzle in there and move it around so it covers the entire inside. And I want you to do that for all 6. I'm going to go ahead and do mine now. Okay, so now that you've done all 6, I want you to take one, and inside the hole you will see that there's an inner ring at the very bottom. I want you to take about the same amount of Lubix that we just did for that demonstration, and I want you to put it in that ring and then move it around. So you're lubricating that ring in the bottom. And then you'll see that there's another ring about halfway up. I want you to do the same thing there. So I want you to go ahead and do that with all 6. Okay, so now that you've got all 6 done, we're going to work on the washers. So I want you to get all 6 washers. Now in your DIY kit, you might actually have 12 washers. You don't really need 12. I got 6 in mine. You're only supposed to use 6. Sometimes they send you extras. So what I want you to do is take a look at the washer. And on one side of the washer, you're going to see that it is more shiny than the other, as in like it's a little bit rounded on one side. And I want you to put the rough side on the Lubix nozzle, so it's rounded this way. I want you to grab one of your center pieces and I want you to put it right in the middle at the bottom. As you can see, there's a washer in the bottom. And I want you to go ahead and do that with all 6 of them. Okay, so I've just done my 6th one. Now I want you to do is grab your Lubix, and remember when we put the bead of lube in the very bottom of that? Well, I want you to do it again on top of the washer. So just a little bit of Lubix, just like this, and put it on top and move it around. And do that for all 6. Okay, so I've done my 6th one now. Now I want you to take one of the springs that looks like this, and I want you to put them in the middle, just like that. And do that for all 6. Okay, so now that you've done that, I want you to take one of your screws, and I want you to take Lubix, and I want you to apply it just like this. You don't need a whole lot, and then you can move it around with the nozzle. And I want you to take this and put that inside of the spring and the washer and all the way through, so it looks like this, and do that with all 6 of them. Okay, so I'm just applying it to my last one now. And you might be wondering, why are we lubing the inside of the centerpiece so much? Well, have you ever grabbed a cube and turned aside and heard that springy ting 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 sound? Well, what that is that's the screw, or sorry, that's the spring. And what it's doing is it's hitting the bottom and it's catching and going ting and hitting ting as you turn it. And it's going around and around doing that ting 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 ting. It's catching and snapping. And what the Lubix does is it just helps it glide more. So you're never going to have that problem. And the friction, it won't be there as well. It basically just lubricates everything so there is no more friction. So what we're going to do now is we're going to grab our screwdriver. We can put the Lubix aside for now. And I want you to grab one of these center pieces. Now hold your screwdriver by the tip and put that in the screw. And I want you to push and hold with this hand. I want you to grab your core and I want you to put it on straight and start turning. Now sometimes you're going to notice that the core, it goes on and it kind of goes up and down, up and down, up and down, and that's because the threads are wrong and there's not really a whole lot you can do about that. So I want you to screw it so you've got maybe about that, maybe 2 pennies worth, and that will be good for now. I want you to grab another one. And I want you to do it to the opposite side. And grab another one. And do it to one side. Okay, so now that you have 3, I'm going to go ahead and do my other 3, but I want you to put all of yours on. All right, so now that you've got your core assembled, we're going to go ahead and add a little bit more Lubix. I want you to grip it like this in your right hand. So your pinky and your ring finger are gripping it down here. Now I want you to grab the top piece with your right first finger and thumb And I want you to lift this up and I want you to grip it just like that. So you've got this tension lifted up here. Now what I want you to do is grab your Lubix and I want you to put a little bit of lube on the screw right there. And keeping this tension, I want you to keep pulling. I want you to start spinning the cube and slowly releasing the tension. And you can already see, as you can see, my cube spins up and down like it wobbles, and that's because just the thread is wrong. So as you can see, it spins very nice. I want you to do it to the opposite side and then do the same thing and then go ahead and spin it. As you can see, that is extremely smooth. Now I want you to go ahead and grab this again, and on the two that you just did, I want you to screw in until you've only got enough room for 1 penny in there. Just like that. And then on the other side again. Okay, go ahead and do another side, gripping it the same way, lifting up, applying your Lubix. And I want you to do that on this side and then the opposite one of this side as well. Okay, so I've just done my second two, and as you can see, it goes forever. Like there's no friction, and that's what Lubix does, is it makes very smooth cubes. Now I want you to tighten these up until there's just 1 penny's worth of room between the center and the core. Do the opposite side. Now I want you to do your 2 remaining side, and you can tell which 2 they are because they are not screwed in very far. So I'm going to go ahead and do my last 2, and I'll see you when I'm done. Okay, so I'm just screwing in my last piece now, and so now the core is complete. That is about as complete and lubed up as the core as you want it to be. So what I want you to do now is I want you to get your edges, and your corners, and your corner caps, and I want you, we can get rid of this paper now too. What I want you to do is grab an edge piece, and I want you to put it in here, just like this. Just wedge it in between those 2. I want you to do the same with the one right on the right side of it. So we put an edge piece in here, and now that it's like this, I want you to put a corner piece in here to lock those in place, just like that. And now I want you to put an edge piece between those 2 pieces here to lock all of that in place. Now we can put it on the ground. And now I want you to take an edge piece, and I want you to put it on the next piece to the right. Put a corner piece in, put an edge piece in. Lock that whole section in place there. And I want you to put this edge piece in, and then a corner piece here, and then another edge piece. Now all I want you to do is just put 1 corner piece in, just like that, not the edge piece yet. I want you to take an edge piece and put it in the top section, just like this. And then take a corner and put that next to it. And then another edge, and then another corner, and then 1 more edge. Now I want you to position that, it should look like this right now. I want you to position the top layer 45 degrees, just like this. And I want you to take an edge piece and your Lubix, and I want you to put Lubix all the way across from the top all the way down. So it looks like this. And I want you to turn that upside down, and I want you to put it there, just like that. Now what I want you to do is grab another corner piece, put your corner piece in there, and grab your Lubix. Now what I want you to put Lubix on is this piece right here, this inside piece, and you want to apply it just like this. And as you can see, hopefully you can see that there's Lubix shining on that piece now. So now I want you to go ahead and put in your other corner. and then your last edge. And a good way to put in an edge, because it has torpedoes, is to kind of fit it in and twist it. Now you've got them all in. And your whole cube is assembled aside from these pieces. So go ahead and work in your Lubix. Alright, my Lubix is worked in, and now my cube is super fast. It is basically like a Lubix cube now. And I'm not taking credit for the way that you lube the cube. This is also on Lubix Cube's page. It's just that not a lot of people know that they offered the knowledge of how they actually make their Lubix Cube. And technically, I guess this would almost be called an ultimate cube now. What I want you to do is, if you need to tension it anymore, go ahead. But I find that for myself, putting that 1 penny's worth in there is just perfect. So I put on these pieces, and now we've got ourselves an assembled Lubix Cube. And it works perfect. Couldn't get any better than that, to be honest, for me. Now I'm going to go ahead and sticker it. So grab your stickers. Let's see what's in here. We should have, if I can get this thing open, as predicted, we do have our Dayan logos. We do have our card, which I don't understand why they give me, but I did order like 10 of these, 11 of these cubes, and I got a big pile of them. And of course, your stickers. This here is a transfer sheet. This is what you should be getting, and I will show you how to use that as well. So I'm going to start with the yellow one. So as you can see, the stickers have been punched cut, and you can see the squares cut there. We want to get everything except the stickers off. So let's go ahead and peel away part of the corner here. See, as you can see, I've started to peel away. And what I want you to do is put that on the table flat, and I don't want you to pull this part upwards. I want you to pull it that way. And as you can see, it takes this off, but it leaves the stickers. So crumple that up, do whatever you want with it, and get rid of it. Now I want you to grab this transfer tape and take it off of its paper background. So I've got my transfer tape coming off now. And what I want you to do, because we only need one of these sets, I want you to take it and put it only over one. So as you can see, it's only over one piece now. And I want you to push that on to the stickers fairly good. Now what I want you to do is not pull at an extreme angle this time, but I want you to pull straight up. And that should take your stickers off and transfer it onto the transfer sheet. So now I want you to grab your cube, and I want you to make sure your cube is square. And I want you to put these stickers on very straight. Just like this. So now that I've got my stickers on there, you want to press them on really good. Now, to take this off without taking your stickers off, I want you to pull at an angle like this. And as you can see, we've got our stickers on there. And I want you to go ahead and do that with all of the sides now. Alright, so I've finished stickering mine now, and as you can see, it looks absolutely great. Mine is a green cube. You could have white, you could have red or pink or black. Whatever cube you have, I'm sure that if you followed this, it's going to be just as smooth as mine, and it is very good. So hopefully you enjoyed my tutorial, and for those people who are wanting to know how to use Maro Lube, all you got to do is take your Maro Lube, and you could put it in this hole, in that hole, any one you want, and just put 1 or 2 drops in there and work it around. It'll work perfectly fine for you. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on my next video. Alright, you've clicked on the part of the video where you choose to use Maro Lube or another lube of your choice and not use Lubix. So I want you to go ahead and grab 1 screw and 1 spring. And I want you to put the spring on just like this. Now I want you to grab the washer and put that on top. So it should look something like this. Now I want you to go ahead and grab one of your center pieces. And I want you to put it inside just like that. And I want you to go ahead and do that for the rest of your pieces. So you go ahead and pause, and I'm going to continue. Okay, now that you have all 6 done, I want you to grab the screwdriver, and I want you to put it on there just like this. And I want you to hold this piece with your thumb and your finger. And I want you to grab your core and come over and put the core on and start screwing it on just like this. And what I want you to do is screw it on so when you've completely pulled this to the right, just like I am here, that you have maybe about a penny's worth of room, just like that. And I want you to go ahead and do that on all 6. And once you're done the 6, you can click this annotation. And so you might want to pause the video now, but you want to click that annotation and then go back to the part where I am assembling the cube.